Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into something that probably affects, well, all of us. It's about those, friction points where our human systems bump up against technology, especially when everything's under a bit of stress. We're going to explore why even small tech glitches can suddenly turn into a real catch-22, and what that tells us about, well, how solid our digital world really is.
That's right. And our kind of mission here is to pull out the really key insights from the material we've looked at. Things about system resilience, user confidence, and maybe some surprising challenges with automation. Think of it as a shortcut, really, to getting your head around these pretty critical modern issues quickly and thoroughly. We're hunting for those aha moments, the ones that show us why our digital lives sometimes just don't work as expected.
Okay, so let's dive in. Picture this. It's a scenario that might ring a bell.
Yeah.
The holiday season. It's a time when, well, systems that still need actual humans involved often get pushed to their limits. What happens when that pressure hits?
Right. It often shines a light on the weak spots, doesn't it? The flaws in the systems that were supposed to help us out in the first place.
Exactly.
And our source material gives us a really clear, concrete example. It talks about a visiting lecturer dealing with the IT systems at a couple of pretty substantial universities in London. During the holidays, she hit these persistent major problems with their email. MS Exchange systems, apparently. And these weren't tiny colleges, significant places, even if not exactly Oxbridge.
And the immediate problem, what was causing the headache?
Well, it mostly boiled down to passwords. Classic. Right?
Oh, yeah. That feeling.
You type it in, you know it's right, but nope. Access denied. And this was made worse, much worse, by the fact there was basically zero IT support available because it was the holidays.
Oh, wow. I can just imagine. Emails piling up, work needs doing, and just crickets from IT gridlock.
Total gridlock. And the source suggests, quite strongly actually, that these weren't just one-off incidents for this one person. The thinking is, it's systematic. Probably lots of other users were hitting the same walls. And the root cause identified. It seems to be that when these universities outsourced their IT systems, they didn't then properly test the processes, not robustly anyway, after the handover.
Okay, so this isn't just about bad email systems at universities then. It feels bigger. What does this kind of catch-22 situation tell us about, well, any complex system, like healthcare or banking maybe?
That's exactly it. It's the core point. The source is saying this isn't just an IT issue. It's about how we design systems, how we make sure the processes actually work, and crucially, how much people trust them. This catch-22 the lecturer faced, it's a perfect storm of circular logic. It could trap anyone in almost any digital system, trying to fix a problem, but the solution requires you to do the very thing the problem prevents you from doing.
It sounds completely maddening. Can you sort of walk us through that loop, the specific steps?
Yeah, it's this 11-step dialogue that just captures the absurdity. So, first step, user says, my password isn't working.
Okay.
Service desk, use the reset password link. Standard advice.
Right.
User, but that link asks me to log in first, which means the password I don't have.
Ah, there it is.
User then asks, is there another way, another channel to get a temporary password? Service desk, sure, use the authenticator app.
Okay, potential solution.
User, but I have a new phone, so the authenticator needs the new password to set it up.
Oh, no.
Service desk, yes, you'll need a new password for that, user, which I can't get because I can't log on.
This is painful.
Service desk, right, okay, we'll escalate this, we'll submit it to IT, they'll email you.
Let me guess.
On your university account.
But you can't access.
Exactly,
Yeah.
User. But I can't get into that account because I don't have the password.
And the final step. Please tell me it's not.
Service desk, please use the reset lost password link. Back to square one.
Wow. Just wow. And to make it even worse, the source says support was only via chat, which always makes you wonder, is that even a real person?
Yeah.
Or just a bot stuck in a loop?
Exactly. You don't know.
And the outcome? The lecturer was locked out.
Locked out of everything. Portal, email, accounts at both universities for over 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a huge disruption, especially for someone just visiting.
It really is. And it leads to this central critical question the source asks. Has no one tested the process out? It seems like such a basic failure, doesn't it?
It does.
And while, it's one person's email trouble, the source frames it as a really important cautionary tale, especially if we're serious about becoming a truly digital society, not just this kind of hybrid mess we're in now.
Okay.
It points to much bigger issues.
Okay, right. And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The material doesn't just point out the problem. It actually suggests a way forward, a systemic solution.
It does. And the key insight is pretty straightforward, really. It's the processes, those step-by-step user journeys. They're what need robust testing. You can't just test the tech in isolation. You have to test the whole flow, especially after changes like outsourcing. The source stresses that without this, support desks just can't work effectively. Doesn't matter if it's a human or an AI, because if the underlying process is broken, they're just hitting the same wall. They need to understand the actual process.
Which kind of leads us neatly into this other really intriguing idea from the source. The possibility that an AI service desk could actually be better than a human agent, specifically like a low-paid agent working from home.
Yeah, it's a fascinating comparison. Think about it. Human agents, often they're working from scripts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their own knowledge might be limited, and they're relying on these online knowledge bases, FAQs, that might be out of date or incomplete. But an AI, if it's designed well, it could potentially access every service interaction that's ever happened, every problem, every solution, across the whole system. So theoretically, it's in a much better position to figure out a successful fix because it has vastly more data. It learns constantly.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it also raises the next big question from the research, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What happens when we start using agentic AI more widely in our everyday lives? You know, AI that acts on its own to get things done.
Proactive AI, yeah.
Because things will go wrong.
Yeah.
Issues will crop up that fall outside the normal planned processes. That seems inevitable.
Absolutely inevitable. And here's the crucial connection the source makes. Unless we figure out how to deal with those unexpected issues, those edge cases, the uptake of agentic AI, or frankly any advanced automation, is just never going to take off the way people hope. If you look at why new tech adoption is often slow, this seems to be a big part of it. It's not just about having the shiny new tech or outsourcing the support desk. It comes down to building user confidence. Confidence in the system itself, yes, but also confidence that when things do go wrong, there's a process to fix it, a process that actually works.
Okay, so if we pull this all together, the main takeaway from this deep dive seems to be, well, it's the huge importance of really testing our processes thoroughly, properly. And maybe even more than that, building genuine user confidence in our digital systems. Because as we've seen, even something that looks like a minor glitch like that password loop, it can actually reveal some really big systemic problems as we rely more and more on digital tools.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, this specific example, the lecture's email woes, maybe it seems small on its own. But it really does work as a powerful cautionary tale, for all our future digital interactions. It shows that the promise of technology, it really depends on the boring stuff, the underlying processes being sound.
There's a great quote in the material that sums this up nicely, I think. You're not defined by what happens to you, but rather how you react to it. Which applies to systems too, perhaps.
It does. And, the slightly grim reality check is that, despite all this analysis, the lecturer in the story, as far as we know from the source, she still doesn't have access to those university systems.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. Just consider how much of your own daily confidence in technology rests not just on the flashy interface, but on those invisible processes behind the scenes, processes that might not have been tested as well as you'd hope. And what happens really when that trust starts to wobble? Something to mull over.